Hello guys and welcome to the Watch Anime channel. Today we're going to be doing our Code Geass reaction slash watch along episode 2. Let's get on a little input about last episode. So last episode what they were talking about was that the Britannian Empire and Japan had a war for Japan's territory, and the Britannian Empire, using the Nightmare Frames, which are robots or mechas, they ended up defeating Japan and calling their country Area 11, where the Japanese were branded as 11s, and they essentially the Britannian Empire ended up taking over. And we get introduced to a character named Lelouch and a character named Suzaku, where Suzaku's Japanese and Lelouch, I don't know if it's revealed or not, but he's going to a Britannian school. I don't know if, I know for a fact, since I've already watched the show, he is Britannian. Then Lelouch ends up being dragged into a Japanese rebellion attack, where he gets identified as a rebel, and the Britannian army tries to kill him. But then, essentially, what happens is that the Japanese rebels took a cargo where they thought it was going to be poison gas to attack the Britannian Empire, but it turns out it was a girl in there, and this girl ends up sacrificing her life for Lelouch. And in the end, what happens is that she ends up, after she died, surprisingly, she gave Lelouch some power in his eye, where essentially it gives Lelouch the power to control minds. I won't go into further detail. I know exactly what it is, but for the people that don't know, I'm not going to spoil it. But yeah, remember the guys, this is a rewatch. This isn't really a reaction. I might get some little reactions in this video just because I love this show so much. It is definitely my favorite show of all time. But yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about that. Also, I'm going to be releasing a 14-minute video of this reaction on YouTube. I won't be releasing the full reaction on YouTube. I might make it available in Patreon as a full access, where you can watch the whole reaction on Patreon, but you would have to donate $5 to do so. And then you'll be able to get access to full-length episodes. But I'll see how it works, because right now I'm really low on memory, so I'm going to see how long, if I can do that or not. Also, this is the first of the episode 2s of all the animes, so all the last animes you've seen me react, that's it. Those are the only ones I'm reacting right now. Once I'm done reacting to all these shows, one by one, once I finish one, it's going to be replaced by another. But yeah, that's going to be in our voting polls. You can vote for me to react to a show you would like me to react to. Of course, it has to be an anime show, but it would have to be in the voting polls, and that's on Patreon, where you would have to donate and be a member. But besides that, I think that's it so far. Also, updates. Right now the audio is horrible, and so is the visuals. And I'm sorry guys, but I'm new to YouTube. I'm a new channel. This is expected from most YouTube channels, and right now I don't have the money to make the visuals better. So if you would like to help out and donate, go ahead and go to our Patreon and become a member. But besides that, let's get started with this reaction slash watch along, Code Geass episode 2. Also guys, the first episode was sub. Now I'm making it dub, because a lot of people complain that they rather listen to the dub version, because this is one of the few animes where the dub version is better. So we're going to be reacting to the dub. Also, it's going to be harder for me to make the sync points, but in the full length reaction you'll be able to see me using the intro as the sync points. But yeah, I'm going to be cutting off the intro, of course, for copyright reasons, in the YouTube version. If you want to see the intro, you have to go to our Patreon and see the full-length reaction. But of course, I'll put on my Twitter if I make it available or not. So if on our channel's Twitter. So if you want to know if I'm gonna end up posting the full-length reaction of this on Patreon, go to our Twitter at WatchAnime0 for updates. I'm going to say right then and there, once I'm done uploading this on YouTube, if I'm going to make available the full-length reaction. I'm not sure yet because of memory, like I mentioned before, but yeah. Anyways, I know you guys don't want to hear me talking, and so let's get started with this reaction on slash watch along on Code Geass episode 2. And the reaction is going to start in 3, 2, 1, play. Japan.
The date was August 10 in the year 2010 of the imperial calendar. The Holy Britannian Empire had just declared war upon Japan. Confronted by Britannia's newest weapon, the formidable Nightmare Frame, Japan fell to its enemy in less than a month. The conquered nation was stripped of its freedom, rights, culture, and dignity. Finally, even its name was taken away. 11. The name of Japan and its people was replaced with a mere number.
I don't understand what it is you wanted me to do. Why did you give me this bizarre power?
How could all these royal guards be dead?
It saved your life, Mr. Suzaku.
You're lucky it was under your protective suit because that's what deflected the bullet.
Is it a keepsake?
Yeah, very.
You 11s believe that gods live inside of everything, even objects, don't you?
Oh, you're gambling again, aren't you? I've warned you before more than once how dangerous that is.
There's the chess pieces.
You caught me. By the way, tell my little sister that I'm gonna be home late tonight, would you? Thanks.
Oh, why does he always hang up on me like that?
Because he's a badass.
Oh, darn it, not this again.
They need to keep a lid on this
Oh,
information,
damn, that is,
so it'll be hard for them to call in reinforcements.
So there's a
They'll have
lot
to
of
deal with
Britannian
pieces they have on the board.
nightmares.
I'm hemmed in here. It'll be tough to break through by myself. Gaining refuge carries its own risk too. I want payback for being dragged into your fight. Use the tracks to move to the west entrance.
Who's this? How do you know this code?
That doesn't matter. If you want to win, you're just gonna have to trust me.
To win?
Surprised she
what am I
actually
supposed to
listened.
do now?
I guess she's desperate, you know.
You pathetic 11. If you simply run away, this hunt hasn't much to offer in the way of sport.
Since you trusted me, you're gonna win. Jump onto the train.
Gotcha!
You think you can get through that way, hmm?
If that's your plan, then... You, go after the Glasgow. Yes, my lord!
What the?
Oh, ambush.
Shot by friendly fire? What's your name and your unit?
We're after the one-armed Glass...
Oh my god! A terrorist?
Yeah, boy. Not really, but
You son of a...
oh, he said he's out. Peace. He said, "Fuck this shit. I'm not gonna die."
You saved me. But how did you get a hold of a Sutherland? What? Where did he go?
Colin! What the hell was that radio message earlier?
What? He contacted you too?
Sure did. And Yoshida's group ought to be here soon.
I like the details where they made it to where the nightmare frame has a speaker.
I present to you the cargo in that train over there. They're tools for your victory. If you want to use them to win, then follow my orders.
See, I was always curious about this. How did he know there were so many nightmare frames in that cargo, in that train cargo?
Amazing!
I know he had access to the location of the other nightmare frames, but how do you have location to those
Yes!
cargoes? I know that there's nightmare frames in there, but they're offline, you know?
Understood.
Unless he has access to the offline nightmare
About
frames.
15 minutes worth.
Then Q1 is on schedule. Enemy Sutherlands, probably 2 of them, will reach you in 23 seconds. Shoot them through the wall.
Ah, he's out of his mind! Everyone, double check your weapons. What? Are you serious?
Enemy spotted at point F31.
A feint, eh? How pedestrian.
Tell Oslo Squad to go straight in. Have Yugen and Valerie strike from the rear.
3, 2, 1, fire! What?
Sir Yugen and Sir Valerie both lost.
An ambush?
No shit, bro.
An ID signal can be a double-edged sword.
Yes, it can.
Besides, if the terrorists follow the orders I issue, my task at hand is
Plus,
sure to be
he
complete.
can hide too because they're gonna think he's just another Sutherland from their side.
To the right.
Finish every one of them off!
How is that obvious? Like, there's... what an idiot move. And why do you have to send all of them?
What? Where's the enemy?
With this, I call check.
Ooh. Awesome. Obviously an underground where he takes down the support pillars. That laugh.
My plan worked, didn't it? I can do it. I can defeat Britannia.
Advanced weapon developed
No
by
Lancelot.
Special Envoy
Freaking badass nightmare frame.
Lancelot, the world's first 7th generation nightmare frame.
Well, if you're ready, Suzaku, shall we proceed with the initial startup?
Initial startup now proceeding from phase 20. Equipping energy filler.
Confirmed 3 stars. Energy filler now at full output.
Lancelot, launch!
Oh, they give me chills. I don't know why.
Running full throttle right out of the
Yeah, I love that guy.
Cooler than the manual. With this...
Huh? What is that?
It doesn't look like a Sutherland.
Ooh.
Another push and the checkpoint.
Everyone's getting destroyed by the freaking badass known as Lancelot. Look at that thing. Ah, you gotta, yeah. That's cheating right there. That's a shield.
Bullets? Useless so-called terrorists. With all the resources they have, they're being beaten by one unit.
Damn it!
I love this combat choreography they gave to this Lancelot.
Yes, I can do this. With Lancelot, I can stop all this at once.
N4, N5, hold there. When the rear units arrive, surround that thing. Gotcha.
Man, look at that thing. It's so much more agile than the rest.
Report. The enemy.
But this is all because of Suzaku, right? Even though it's a newer model, the moves it's using is based on Suzaku, right? Because they have this link connected.
Our pilot is taking his job very seriously.
You mean this thing's what's ruining my plan? Are you the guy that's in command? Nothing more than a pilot. How dare he?
Hello guys and welcome to the Watch Anime channel. Today we're going to be doing our Code Geass reaction / watch along episode 2. Let's get on a little input about last episode. So last episode what they were talking about was that the Britannian Empire and Japan had a war for Japan's territory, and the Britannian Empire, using the nightmare frames, which are robots or mechas, they ended up defeating Japan and calling their country Area 11, where the Japanese were branded as 11s, and they essentially the Britannian Empire ended up taking over. And we get introduced to a character named Lelouch and a character named Suzaku, where Suzaku is Japanese and Lelouch, I don't know if it's revealed or not, but he's going to a Britannian school. I don't know if I know for a fact, since I think it kind of reminds me of Cowboy Bebop. I don't know why. A Spike for some reason.
But he... Damn Nagata to hell!
So this is where you 11 vermin scurried off to. Prepare to fire!
Oh, no!
Attention all forces! Cease fire at once!
Don't you recall? The two of us used to play chess together as boys. Of course, I would always win.
What?
Remember? At the Ares Villa?
You? Who are you?
It's been a long time, big brother. The eldest son of the late
This reveal is awesome.
and 17th
Yep.
in line to the
Lelouch is
Imperial
royalty.
Lelouch v Britannia at your service.
Lelouch? But I
Lelouch v
You
Britannia.
were wrong. I have returned, Your Highness.
Now let's get started with my thoughts and opinions on this episode. This episode was amazing. I loved it so much. It was great. I loved Lelouch and the tactics and how they finally started showing how smart Lelouch really is. This episode got me so hyped the first time I watched it. It's awesome. I love it. I love Lelouch. I love Colin a lot. She grows on you. But for me, since I've already seen this show before, she is by far one of my favorites. I love what's his name? Jeremiah. And I forgot the doctor's name, but the guy who's in charge of the Lancelot, I love that guy too. Those characters are just amazing. But yeah, that's what I have to say about the characters. As far as story goes, all that we got more out of this is the fact that Lelouch is royalty, and Suzaku is now piloting the Lancelot, which is the highest 7th generation of the Nightmare Frame, which is the best, supposedly. And that's essentially all we got out of it. And we just got a display of Lelouch's true skills and his intellect, which is awesome. But yeah, I don't think I have to say anything more about the episode other than it was amazing. I loved it so much, and I can't wait to watch episode 3. Go ahead and comment down below to give your thoughts and opinions about our reaction / watch along. Drop a like to give us a little bit more exposure. Subscribe to our channel to get more access to more of this awesome content. And yeah, go to our Twitter at WatchAnimeZero where you get all our updates, especially about the Patreon, on the fact that we might put the full-length reaction up on Patreon, as well as you the chance to vote what our next anime shows are going to be. But yeah, that's all I have right now. I can't think of anything else to tell you guys. You can check out our website at watchanimechannel.weebly.com where you can learn more about us. But yeah, that's it. I love this show. I can't wait to watch the next one. I love this episode. I can't watch the next one, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching the Watch Anime channel. Go and subscribe to their channel and enjoy awesome anime content, as well as exclusive content at their Patreon account.